Assalamu alaikum jami'an wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Thank you so much, Haj Samir. Thank you very much, Brother Mehdi. Thank you so much, Sayyidain al-Aliyain al-Qazwiniyain. May Allah bless you all for the wonderful talk that you have given. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والحمد لله رب العالمين صلى الله عليك يا سيدي ويا مولاي يا رسول الله صلى الله عليك يا سيدي ويا مولاي يا أبا عبد الله يا رحمة الله الواسعة ويا باب نجاة الأمة ويا عبرة كل مؤمن ومؤمنة يا ليتنا كنا معكم سيدي فنفوز فوزا عظيما. قال تعالى في كتابه الكريم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم يا أيها الذين آمنوا استجيبوا لله وللرسول إذا دعاكم لما يحييكم واعلموا أن الله يحول بين المرء وقلبه وأنه إليه تحشرون. صدق الله العلي العظيم. There is a trending question nowadays, and that is what we need religion for. Why religion matters, especially in this era that we consider it to be the information revolution, the age of science. Every day there is a scientific breakthrough, the advances in medicine, in chemistry, in technology. Everywhere you see that there is a plenty of information, evidence, and knowledge. Why do we go back and embrace something that is outdated as religion? Why it matters? Why do we need it for? Especially when we compare the lives of the religious person and non-religious person, we see they are the same. Both, when they get sick, they take medication and they go to doctor and visit the hospitals. Both, when they want to excel, they need to study and work hard. And with merit, they advance. They need to struggle. And both, when their time is up, die. Not much difference. So, what is the purpose that we emphasize on religion? Why there are so many religions today and why there are so many adherents to them? While science, evidence, technology, everything tells you that at least there is no difference between a religious person and a religious person. Lifestyles. What is the reason? You see, brothers and sisters, when you look at the ruins, the ancient ruins, they were people before us lived thousands of years ago. You see that there are cities that turn to be ruins. In those cities, you do not find markets. You do not find, for example, government buildings, but you find house of worship, spiritual places. Ruins like the Petra in Jordan, for example, the Stonehenges in England, the Machu Picchu in Peru, the Acropolis in Athens, the pyramid in Egypt. They all tell you, the historians tell you, that those are houses of worship or spiritual places. What does that tell us? It tells us that from the advent, from the creation of human being, human had this tendency toward a spiritual being, have this yearning toward a higher belonging, to a higher power of belonging. That is a fact. And you cannot deny this fact. In fact, there is a genetist, his name is Dean Hamer. Dean Hamer in 2004 wrote a book that is called The God Gene: How Faith is Hardwired into Our Genes. He proposes, he claims that our spirituality is influenced by our heredity, meaning that in our DNA, in our genomes, there is a certain gene that pushes us toward spirituality, toward metaphysics. And it says that this gene that is called VMAT2 predisposes a human toward the spiritual experiences. Then he concludes in his book, he said that why this one matters, because it is reflected in our daily lives. We can feel it. It has a profound effect. What is that effect? It says that it provides spirituality. The spirituality provides an evolutionary advantage for those who are spiritual compared to those that are non-spiritual. They have evolutionary advantage. And that's when the spirituality provide them with a sense of security and optimism. After years of studies, he has combined behavioral genetic as well as neurobiological studies and psychological studies, and came to say that those who are spiritual have a better life than those that are non-spiritual. By the way, this guy, Dean Hamer himself, is secular. He does not disclose his faith or his belief. He doesn't say if he's a religious or non-religious person, but he's a genetist. And he has this book. I recommend that you guys read it. Of course, it has some details. Those who are specialized in molecular biology and biochemistry will appreciate it more than other readers, but it deserves to be read. In addition, when you look at the statistics and surveys, 87% of world population are spiritual. They have at least some sort of belief in the higher power, in the supernatural power, compared to only 13% of those who claim to be either atheist or agnostic. In the remaining minute of my talk, I will be covering 3 reasons why we need religion. The first one is the epistemological reason, the knowledge reason. The second is the emotional and psychological reason. And third is the practical and behavioral and health-related reason. I will dwell into those after your big and loud salawat. A human being by nature is hungry for knowledge and has strong curiosity. Always after questions and wants to have answers. We say that there are questions that no field, no special field can answer except religion. It is only religion that claims has the answer. Others cannot answer you. For example, where did we come from? How did we get into this life? And where are we going to? What will happen to us after death? And what is our purpose in this life? Do we have a responsibility in this life, or we don't have a responsibility in this life? What does death of questions no field in applied or behavioral science can answer you. Take any university, any field, any discipline, the field of science, whether natural or applied, behavioral science, anthropology, biology, all types of fields, they stop short from answering. Why? Because they do not have the proper tools to answer these questions. In biology, what is the tool of biology when they give a piece of information? It is the laboratory. They take a species in the laboratory and they do tests on those. And after test, until that becomes reproducible, then they declare a certain theory or a certain fact. But how they examine life after death? They are short in tools. Therefore, they cannot answer these questions. At most, probably biologists tell you, yes, a human being formed from a sperm and an egg. They formed as they joined. They formed zygote. The zygote formed the clot, and the clot formed tissues, and tissues formed bones, and bones formed flesh, and eventually a fetus, and the fetus was, developed in the womb of his mother, and then he was delivered, and he became a human being. But what is before that? Maybe anthropologists tell you, okay, at one time species were all together, and then they started to separate in this life, here on the face of this planet. Of course, this is all speculations, hypotheses. Nothing has been proven so far. And then the Homo sapien came out, and then after that, Homo sapien came out until we got to this level. But what was before that? Nothing. What does happen to us after we die? Nothing. Only religion tells you. At least religion claims that it has the answer. Tells you that after death, there is another life. There is something called the hereafter. And of course, I am talking here in general. When I mean religion, I mean all those, spiritual creeds that claim to be religions. They have this sort of answer. So this is one type. Religion tell you, where did you come from? Where are you going? And what is your responsibility in this life? Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salam has this beautiful word. He says, رحم الله عبدا عرف من أين وفي أين وإلى أين. May Allah bless that person who knows from where he came from, to where he is going to, and what is he doing in this life. If anyone knows those three questions, he knows the secret to this life. So this is the first answer from the knowledge level. The second one, we talk about the emotional and the psychological aspect of religion. صلوا على محمد وآل محمد. Today, scientists or statistics tell you that the most popular disease and illness on the face of the planet is not something related to organs of the body. Meaning it is not cancer. It is not heart disease. It is not diabetes. The most predominant sickness today, especially in the advanced countries, is anxiety and depression. If you don't believe me, read the latest statistics in the magazine called Science. they say that almost half of the American populations are inflicted with anxiety and depression, psychological problems, emotional problems. Why? Aren't their countries so advanced? Don't they have everything? When you look at the United States, you see that in everything, it is number one. An easy life, comfortable life, vibrant economy, strong military, vast land, freedom. Wherever you want, you can go. You have a credit card you can use. You have bank account. You can find a job. But why so much anxiety and, desperation and depression? Why? Because they don't know about the future. Because we don't know what's going to happen to us tomorrow. Today I am going to work. I don't know if my boss will lay me off or not. Whether I go to the doctor and he tells me that I have for example, a dangerous illness. I don't know about my own future. I don't know about my retirement. I don't know about my family's future. I am concerned about my children. I am concerned about my family. What is going to happen to us? These all cause anxiety. How do we subside them? Again, statistics tell you those who had spirituality, when you check them and look at them, you see they are more tranquil and peaceful. Why? Because they have a higher sense of belonging to a higher power, that there is someone watching them. Now, when I believe that there is someone is taking care of me and watching me, I need to be connected to that power. How do I get connected? Through science? Through behavioral science? No. Religion will connect me to that higher power. They tell me, here he is. Whenever you want to talk to him, you can talk to him. Even in the midst of darkness. Even you just pronounce it inside your heart. You don't even have to say it on your lips. He listens to you. When all doors are closed, his door is open to you. Therefore, do not feel that much in anxiety. Do not feel that you are desperate, because there is someone is watching you. Again, throughout our life, we encounter so many crises and difficulties. Sometimes we face disasters, the fear of wars, battles, civil wars sometimes. Today we were in a gathering. One respected brother said that there could be a civil war one day in this country when there is so much animosity between Republicans and Democrats, and they are at each other and, destroying each other. Maybe one day we will end up having that type of a problem. Who would believe 2 years ago there would be a devastating war between Russia and Ukraine? Two mature countries, two civilized countries, all of a sudden, they are at each other. These causes all nervousness. What is the solution? The solution is patience. You have to have a patience. If you do not have a spirituality, if you do not believe in the spiritual power, what does patience do to you? You're patient, you wait for what? There is no light at the end of the tunnel. But when you are spiritual and your religion tells you get patient, be patient, because at the end you will earn the reward. Here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَلَنَبْلُوَنَّكُمْ حَتَّى نَعْلَمَ الْمُجَاهِدِينَ مِنْكُمْ وَالصَّابِرِينَ. We will test you. We will put you through disasters, through agonies, through hardships and crises. But you need to be patient. You need to have forbearance. Once you have that, then you will be successful. Then we will know that you truly a patient person. What do you get in that? What is your reward? إِنَّمَا يُوَفَّى الصَّابِرُونَ أَجْرَهُمْ بِغَيْرِ حِسَابٍ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will eventually reward you. But someone that he's not spiritual, doesn't belong in the higher power and doesn't believe in the afterwards, in the hereafter, what does patient do to him? He tells you, I have only this life. And if this life is ruined, then what's the point? What I am going to get out of it? Do you see the source of stress and anxiety? Because only we have these through, a few years, a few decades of our lives to enjoy and to live in tranquility and peace. So if I cannot achieve them, then what's the point? I better commit a suicide. That's why you see that the number of suicides in secular communities is much higher than the religious communities. Maybe in religious communities they kill each other, but they don't commit suicide. But go back to the secular communities, you see that the rate of suicide is much higher. Why? Because there is no purpose in their life. Why they live? To suffer more? And so what? At the end what? A death will loom, and then they are in the trash. So they better go to the trash at the earliest. Why they have to wait so long? But when you believe in a spiritual being and a higher power, then that will give you a sense of relief that you will be cool. Just stay the course, and then you will succeed. Another researcher, it is very difficult to pronounce his name, therefore I will abstain from, mentioning his name. He has found, when he compared two groups of elderly people, one spiritual and the other one is non-spiritual. He compared their lifestyles. He found, first of all, the spiritual group have significantly less depressive symptoms, meaning that they don't have much depression as much as the secular ones. The other thing, a better quality of life. Their life is more, have better quality than those. One reason that I have found here in this country, if you want to buy an insurance, a car insurance and health insurance, the first thing they ask you what? You're married or not? Then they ask you, do you believe in something? I don't know. This is what I have heard. Maybe I am wrong. But at least, it will help in finding that those people are more stable than those that don't believe in anything. I don't know. This is what I have heard at least. The other finding that he finds in his studies is that those who are religious, they have resilience toward the high risk factors such as cancer, diabetes, heart attacks. Those who are more religious, their quality of life lead them that they will resist such kind of difficulties and risk factors. In addition, he found that they have less cognitive impairment. This is again according to a scientific study. He came out, he gave these results after studying into science and lab. And he have found that those religious group are more comfortable with their life and very satisfied with their life. Read the ayah. The ayah tell you that. It tells you, الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَتَطْمَئِنُّ قُلُوبُهُم بِذِكْرِ اللَّهِ أَلَا بِذِكْرِ اللَّهِ تَطْمَئِنُّ الْقُلُوبُ. When you believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you'll be tranquil. You will be at peace because there is someone who is very merciful and wise is watching you, and he knows about your destiny. He will take care of you. So this is on that regard. Also, scientists say that religion is good because it gives you a sense of belonging. You will feel that you are part of a community. All religions have festivals, rituals, and traditions. Muharram is our tradition. Don't we feel that we are a large family all together? It gives us a sense of belonging. The same thing with the Christians. They have Thanksgiving and they have a Christmas and they have Easter, the same thing with the Jews and the rest. Those rituals and those traditions make people feel that they belong to a larger community, to a larger family, that they are not abandoned. There is a beautiful story that I've heard from my father, who have heard it from Sayyid Muhammad Beheshti. Sayyid Muhammad Beheshti was the supreme judge for the Islamic Republic back in the 80s, and he was martyred in 1982. My father narrates this story from him. Sayyid Muhammad Beheshti was the representative of Ayatollah Burujurdi, who happened to be the Grand Marja at the time, back in the 60s and 70s, who dispatched him to Germany, and he used to live in Hamburg. He said that one day, I received a call from a manager of a hospital. He told me, "Are you the leader of Shia Muslims or Muslims?" I said, "Yes." He said, "Could you come to the hospital?" He said, "I went to the hospital." He said that there is a German guy. He's old. He has been here in this hospital for almost 40, 50 days. And he wants to become Muslim. Can you help him with that? I said, "Definitely. Why not?" He went to him and visited him. And he said, "Are you willing to become Muslim?" He said, "Yes." So he declared the Shahada and became Muslim. The Sayyid asked him, "Can I ask you the question, why you became Muslim? For what reason?" He said, "Look at me. I am a German. I am native of Germany. And I am very wealthy. My state, my status is very good. I have a very, good bank account, and my living standard is good. And I used to own a company, and now I am retired. But ever since I have been admitted to this hospital, nobody from my family has visited me, despite the fact that I have so many children. But across my room, on that side, in the inpatient's ward, I have seen a worker. Every day there are flocks of people come visit him and leave. Until one day I asked the nurse, I told her, "Who's this person? He must be a president of a country, because I am a CEO of a company and nobody cares about me. This guy must be very important." She told me, "No, this guy is a worker, poor guy." He said, "Could you call one of those who will visit him to come to me?" She said, "Sure." One of those visitors came to him and told him, "What is going on? You're visiting this guy. Are you related to this guy?" He said, "No, we're not related to this guy, but we are friends of this guy. He's part of our community. This guy is an Iranian worker. He has injured himself. And part of our tradition and religion, we come and visit him." He said, "He must be giving you some cash, some money that you will visit him." He said, "No, this poor guy, we come and support him, not the other way around." He said, "Why?" He said, "Because our religion tell us. We are so much committed to our religion, therefore we come and visit him. Therefore, I feel that I need that religion who take care of me. I don't feel that I am lonely in this life, despite the fact that I am a German and I am a native German here. That's why I became Muslim." Sayyid Muhammad Beheshti said that I told the community from now on, go and visit this poor guy as well. As you visit this worker, visit this man. He said, after a while, after a month or so, I received a call from the hospital. They told me, "Come back. This guy has passed away." He said, when I went, I saw the guy was, passed away, but his son was there. He said, "I am here. I came to cremate my father, but they told me that this guy became Muslim, and according to Islam, we cannot cremate him. So I wanted to seek a permission from you to cremate him." I told him, "Why do you want to cremate him?" He said, "Because it is cheaper. I don't have to buy a piece of land." He said, "But this man is a wealthy man." He said, "Yes, this money goes to us. Why would we spend it on someone who's dead? Does it matter to him anymore? Said, I am sorry. According to our religion, we cannot do that. Then he said, I am sorry. Khuda Hafiz, goodbye, and left. Without even saying, farewell to his father. This is how religion teach his followers how to have sense of community and belonging. That is one beauty of our religion. The third question, we said that there are three answers: knowledge related, emotional and psychological related answer, and the third one is behavioral, practical and health related issues. Sallu ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad. When you look at Islam in particular, maybe this is also true in other religions, but because I am so ignorant about other religions, I only concentrate on Islam here. Religion here comes, give our life purpose and significance and value. We do our activities, routine activities, very simple, everybody does them. But religion comes and gives them significance and value. How? For example, to a worker, employee, trader, anyone who has a decent, legitimate job, tells him as much as you are struggling day and night, winter and summer, during the cold, during the warmth, you struggle for your family, to bring them sustenance, to bring them provisions, to put them under shelters, through legal means, legitimate means, then you are considered to be a mujahid in the way of Allah. An ordinary act that all of us do. But Islam or religion comes to signify that. Give it a value. Al-kaddu ala iyalih kal-mujahid fi sabilillah. Someone who struggles for the sake of his family, make them feel good, and make them live in dignity and respect, as if he's the one who's a fighter in the way of Allah. And instead of waiting for jihad and fighting, you just do good for your family, and God will consider you as a mujahid. Take another example. If you are a nurse, if you are a doctor, if you are a surgeon, if you work in a healthcare, if you have someone who's sick and about to die, and you rescue him, you treat him, and you bring him back to life, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will reward you in a way that cannot be counted. وَمَنْ أَحْيَاهَا فَكَأَنَّمَا أَحْيَا النَّاسَ جَمِيعًا. A simple work. I go to work just to provide for myself and my family. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala signifies and sanctifies that act. Make it so valuable that when I go to work, I go with purpose. I go with enthusiasm. I go with energy. Again, another example. If you are a soldier, you are a firefighter, and you fight for your community, you fight for your land, for the territorial integrity of your land, to protect your land, to protect your community. And if you get killed, then you are considered to be a martyr. Where is the place of martyr? Here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, أُولَٰئِكَ مَعَ النَّبِيِّينَ وَالصِّدِّيقِينَ وَالشُّهَدَاءِ وَالصَّالِحِينَ. Just if you are a soldier and defending your own country from the enemy. A fourth example. Just when you face disaster and agony and hardship and a tragedy, and you stay patient. You don't give up your faith. You stay the course. And you have sabr. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, أُولَٰئِكَ عَلَيْهِمْ صَلَوَاتٌ مِّن رَبِّهِمْ وَرَحْمَةٌ وَأُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الْمُهْتَدُونَ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will send His salawat on you. صلوا على محمد وآل محمد. So those ordinary acts and daily acts that we do, God signifies them and gives them value and respect. This is how religion pushes you toward working harder and being more enthusiastic and more energetic in doing those. Another point, advantage for religion, and inshallah we will go to the, not much left. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad again. It says that religion fosters the social virtues. The other day we talked about it. It fosters truth, honesty, trustworthiness, service to the community. Those people who do that mostly are religious. Of course, there are people who argue. You said that those virtues also are instilled within the secular people. The religious persons also have that virtues and values. There are values that are controversial. Whom do you go to be an arbitrator? No one can arbitrate except religion. For example, in this country, there is a fight between a pro-life and a pro-choice group. Who would say who is the right, who is the wrong when it comes to abortion? It is the religion that comes and tell you, you should save the life of people. There are controversial values. You can't say where except you have religion. Or another act is called euthanization. When people, if I pronounce it right, when those who terminate their life, they say, I reached a level or a stage that I don't want to live anymore. Who will decide that this act is good or not? Which entity? The religion tells you. Because secularism keeps silent. Tells you it's up to you. To certain countries, it is lawful. In certain countries, it is prohibited. But it is religion who decide where you are. Also, religion promotes social solidarity. How? When you build social solidarity, you fight discrimination. You fight racism. How? These gatherings, Salatul Jama'ah that we do, Salatul Jum'ah that we do, the Hajj that we go, all bring all people together. There, you don't see the differences between people. The rich and the poor, the Arab, the non-Arab, everybody is mixed. That brings a sense of solidarity. Of course, all religions, they have their masses. Christianity do, Judaism have, Buddhism have. These mass gathering, reduce the tension between the communities as well as their solidarity. Now, the health-related issues. How many more minutes I have? Inshallah. Very close. Sallu ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad. When you look at religion, you see that it cares about your well-being and your health. It's through commands and prohibitions. First of all, tells you about your behavior. There are things that you're not supposed to do. You cannot gamble. You cannot do usury. You cannot do indecent acts as a profession or as an act. Profanity. These are all outlawed. Why? Because today scientists tell you that promiscuity brings you diseases. All kind of diseases, all kind of troubles. Usury as well. Gambling as well. These are all considered to be psychological problems. When it comes to diet, again, it tells you that there are certain foods, certain substances you cannot touch, you cannot approach. You cannot take any intoxicating agent. You cannot take any narcotics. You cannot eat pork. You cannot eat dead animals. Why? Because they all have health-related problems. Who questions, for example, the use of marijuana? Who doubts that it will affect the nervous system, the brain, the psychology and the physiology of the human being. Same thing could be said about wine and alcohol. These are all detrimental to the health. Here religion tells you, stop. We have a great month of fasting. In that fasting, all our body goes through a detoxification cycle. Our body detoxifies itself. Fasting have shown that it combats heart disease, cancer, diabetes, and depression. And these, wallahi, not from mine. They all came from scientific journals, and they are all published by well-established universities in the West. They tell you intermittent fasting will help you cope with certain diseases, will elongate your life. This is how religion does. Therefore, at the beginning of my talk, I recited this ayah that Allah says, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu, istajibu lillahi wa lirrasuli idha da'akum lima yuhyikum. Answer the call of Allah and the Prophet when they call upon you to give you a new life, to extend your life. Some people think that the life of akhirah. No. In this life, the true life is through religion, because that religion cares about your diet, cares about your health, cares about your emotions, cares about your brain, cares about your knowledge, cares about your well-being, about your integrity and dignity. And that is a true religion. Of course, in the same time that a true religion is so essential and mandatory for a vibrant life for everyone, there are also fake religions who are so detrimental to the humanity. Of course, we don't have, between brackets, a fake religion. Every religion, every main religion, have fake creeds and fake acts. Those who claim by religion they kill people, civilian people, a religion that advocates discrimination, racism, bigotry, fanaticism, this religion is fake religion. That could be found in Islam, that could be found in Christianity, that could be found in Judaism, and all kinds of religions. There are certain sects that promote fanaticism. They promote intolerance. They tell you, as long as you adhere to our own definition and our own interpretation of religion, then you're good. If you disagree with us, then you are mushrik. You are a heretic. You are a kafir. You are a non-believer. Definitely, this is a fake religion. Why? Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, لا إكراه في الدين قد تبين الرشد من الغي. You cannot compel people for a certain religion. Leave them. Leave them, they express themselves. When a religion becomes divisive and it creates sectarianism, that you belong to us and you do not belong to us, and since you do not belong to us, you are our enemy, and we have the right to exclude you or to persecute you, that's a fake religion. A religion that suppresses the opinion of people, the expression of thought of people, is a fake religion. Look at Al-Imam Al-Sadiq alayhi salam. He used to debate the atheist, Zanadiqa. Zanadiqa means atheist. Ibn Abil Awja was one of the greatest scholars of atheism. Where he used to debate him? In Masjid al-Haram. In front of Kaaba. And this man is an atheist, does not believe in God, does not believe in any form of spirituality. He debates the Imam for the existence of Allah. And the Imam does not reject him, sit with him in the holy house of Allah, in front of Kaaba, or sometimes in Masjid al-Nabawi. He will debate him. He never tells him, you are a heretic, you are najas, get out of the masjid. and the debates are all written. Sometimes Ibn Abi al-Awja complained to one of the followers of Imam al-Sadiq, Hisham ibn al-Hakam, told him, why once I start debating you, you get mad at me, and you scream at me, and you use a bad word, bad mouth me, while your leader, Jafar ibn Muhammad, when I talk to him, he's very calm, very peaceful, very graceful. This is how our Imams used to do. You see, the Battle of Ashura had a very contrast between the fake and the true religion. You could see that vividly. Despite, in the forefront, both groups would pray and perform the salat and raise the adhan and iqamah. And both groups would say Allahu Akbar and La ilaha illallah. But here, one side was showing the true, genuine religion, and the other one is the fake religion. On the day of Ashura, Zainab alayhi salam noticed the tears coming from the eyes of Abi Abdullah al-Hussein as he is looking at the army of Ibn Ziyad. 30,000 people came to fight him. Imam Hussein's tears started to come. Why, my brother? Are you terrified? You are son of Ali ibn Abi Talib. Why are you crying? He said, Zainab, I am not crying for myself. I am crying for those 30,000 people whom because of me they are going to end up in hell, in Jahannam. I don't want to be the cause for them to go to Jahannam. I want to save them. That was the spirit of Abi Abdullah al-Hussein. But look at the other side. The other side did not leave any opportunity to kill as many people from the camp of Imam Hussein, including children. You know the stories. Abdullah al-Radi', 6 months old. Some scholars said that Ali al-Asghar and Abdullah al-Radi' are two different entities. They are not one person. One of them was born on the same day of Ashura. The other one was born 6 months before. And both were massacred in the battle of Karbala. Children. One of them is Abdullah ibn al-Hasan, an 11-year-old boy from Imam al-Hasan. On the last minutes from the life of Imam Hussein, he came and threw himself on the chest of Imam Hussein. They shot him with an arrow and killed him. But look at the companions of Abi Abdullah al-Hussein. Today we want to talk about a few companions. One of them was an 11 years old. His name is Amr ibn Junad al-Ansari. His father was a companion of Imam Hussein. He went and bravely fought until he was massacred. He was killed. But when the turn came to his son was only 11 years old. He came to Imam Hussein wearing the outfit of the battle, in his hand is the sword, and said, Yabna Rasulullah, I am here to fight. Imam Hussein told his companions, take him away. His father was killed recently. His mom would hate that. Probably she would not agree. He said, Yabna Rasulullah, my mom was the one who pushed me to come to fight. My mom encouraged me to come and fight. Everyone, when we'd go to the battle, he would do a recitation, the ode. You know, he declared who he is, who's his father, who's his lineage, who's his tribes. This guy, Amr ibn Junada, who would know Amr ibn Junada? He didn't know. He didn't have any father to say, to brag about his father. He started saying, Amiri Husaynun wa ni'mal Amiri. My prince is Hussein. My leader is Hussein. Sururu fu'ad al-Bashir al-Nadiri. Ali wa Fatimatun walidah. فهل تعلمون له من نظير? As he was fighting, one of the enemies brought him down and then beheaded him. Took his head and threw it to the camp of Abi Abdullah al-Hussein. Now his mother came. She took the head and threw it back to the enemy. She took the pole of a tent and went to fight. And she started she charged to the enemy saying, أنا عجوز في النساء ضعيفة خاوية بالية نحيفة. Imam Hussein told her, come back. rahimahullah. In Ziyarat al-Nahiya by Al-Imam Al-Mahdi alayhi salam, there is a special salute for this young man and his father, where it says, Assalamu ala Junadat ibn Ka'b al-Ansari wa ibnuhu Amr ibn Junada. That was an 11-year-old boy. Another one called Joan. Joan was an African slave of Abu Dhar, who left after the departure of Abu Dhar. He stayed with the household of Ali ibn Abi Talib until he got to household of Imam Hussein. Imam Hussein on the day of Ashura told Joan, إنما اتبعتنا لأجل العافية. Because of, sustenance, you came after us. Why do you trouble yourself? Leave. He said, يا ابن رسول الله أنا في الرخاء ألحس قصاعكم وفي الشدة أترككم. During the good times, I spend my time with you and I eat from your sustenance. Now when you want me, I leave you. لا والله يا ابن رسول الله إن لوني لأسود وإن ريحي لنتن وإن حسبي للئيم. I have a darker skin. My breath is pugnacious. I don't have a lineage. All I want is that you breathe from heaven on me. So my face is brightened. My breath, my scent becomes good. And my lineage becomes good. In the battle when he fought, when he came down, Imam Hussein did exactly the same thing as he did with Ali al-Akbar. Imam Hussein put his cheek right on cheek of Joan. And they said, Allahumma tayyib rihahu. واحشره مع محمد وآل محمد وبيض وجهه. The dua of Imam alayhi salam. A third companion was Wahab ibn Habbab al-Kalbi. Wahab was a Christian man. Just had been married for 17 days. He crossed Karbala. His mom, his wife and his mom. His mom told him, go and see the son of the Prophet of Islam. Once he went there, Imam invited him for Islam and to join his army. He said yes. On the day of Ashura, his mom told him, go out. You're the first one to go in the battle. He went and fought until he got injured. He came to his mom, told her, هل رضيتي عني? Are you satisfied? She said, no, wallah, I will not be until I see you dead and you are drenched with your blood. This is how I will be happy to see Fatima al-Zahra. His wife told him, Wahab, where are you leaving? Didn't you forget about your promise just a few weeks ago? You said that we will live together and die together. Why you are leaving me? His mom told him, don't listen to her. He went to fight, kept fighting. All of a sudden heard his wife coming behind him and says, Wahab, قات فداك أبي قاتل دون الطيبين. Fight, Wahab, keep fighting. He was surprised, shocked. Told her, what's going on? Just a few minutes, you said, don't fight. She said, لا تلمني يا وهب إن واعية الحسين قطعت نياط قلبي. I have seen something from Hussein that my heart was broken. What did you see? She said, I saw him standing on the tent and saying, وَقِلَّةَ نَاصِرَةٍ أَلَا هَلْ مِن نَاصِرٍ يَنصُرُنَا. Fight, Wahab. At that time, Wahab collapsed. They killed him. She came to his body. Shem passed by, asked his servant to blow, dealt a blow to her head. And she was the first woman to be martyred in the camp of Abi Abdullah al-Hussein. لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم. السلام عليك يا أبا عبد الله وعلى الأرواح التي حلت بفنائك وأناخت برحلك. عليكم مني جميعا سلام الله أبدا ما بقيت وبقي الليل والنهار ولا جعله الله آخر العهد مني لزيارتكم. السلام على الحسين وعلى علي بن الحسين وعلى أولاد الحسين وعلى أصحاب الحسين ورحمة الله وبركاته.